Who is the most powerful company in the world? It is said that capitalism works best when competition is strong. Well, what happens when two companies pretty much own just about the entire world? There are some pretty powerful companies out there, but notably two come to mind: Vanguard Inc. and BlackRock Inc. They own a majority of all the shares of US-based companies with the power to influence political and business decisions. Why are these two major enterprises so under the radar? In 1988, founder and CEO Larry Fink formed Blackstone. It emerged as an asset management firm whose duty was to provide risk management services to its clients. While working in the mortgage-backed securities at First Boston, Fink was one of the best bond traders at the firm, making the firm a lot of money. As his success grew, his confidence followed. Because of this, Larry was on track to become CEO of First Boston. Things at work were going great, and while him and his team were trading bonds, a drop in interest rates and a series of events caused his firm to lose $100 million, completely destroying his chances at becoming CEO. Because of this, Fink decided to leave First Boston. Fink and 7 partners formed Blackstone. By 1992, the name was changed to BlackRock. After 7 years, in 1999, they went public, and just about 5 years later, they were already managing over $400 billion. A big reason for BlackRock's success is their computer software system called Aladdin, which specializes in portfolio and risk management solutions by working with thousands of computers in order to protect the company from harm. Mixed with their ability to gain clients' trust and the passive investment products they offer, like ETFs and mutual funds, this has given BlackRock Inc. the title of largest money manager and CEO Larry Fink as the king of Wall Street. BlackRock is so big it is nearly worth half of America's GDP. That's larger than the GDP of every country on earth except the US and China. And if you don't know what GDP is, basically it's the entire monetary value of a country's goods and services produced within a year. Great power and the ability to influence and dictate the direction of the world, most people still have never heard of BlackRock, or maybe even Vanguard, which I find a little strange. And you should also, considering that they own the media, they own Disney, Comcast, Netflix, AT&T, even the biggest company in the world, Apple, which is now considered a tech/media company, allowing them to control more than 90% of the US media landscape. And I don't need to tell you what that means. Now, you might be wondering how or who says they own these companies. To answer that, let's take a step back and get a better understanding of the ownership process of public companies. When companies go public via IPO, they sell shares of stock in the open market. People and institutions who purchase these shares have direct ownership stake in proportion to how many shares they hold. So in short, if you own most of the shares, you dictate the company's operations. BlackRock is one of the 3 top holders of the largest banks, JP Morgan, Bank of America, and Citigroup. They own the energy sector such as Exxon and Phillips 66. They own the food we consume through PepsiCo, who owns over 20 well-known American food brands via decades of acquisitions, such as Quaker Oats, Tropicana, and Gatorade, allowing them to have complete control of the entire food market, restricting competition and leaving them to be very profitable, while consumers are faced with paying inexcusable prices for goods that drop in demand even as people's income rise. I guess you could say they definitely live on the saying, business is business, and nothing matters more than making money. It would be pretty naive to think that BlackRock's influence doesn't have its negative results. After all, power tends to corrupt, and in the upper echelons of business, there's no playing fair. I guess the question we should be asking here is, should an investment company be responsible for making smart and ethical decisions in a lineup of different industries, considering they are just an investment company? However, BlackRock is very much still an important organization. Their relationship with central banks helped the US through the 2008 financial crisis. Many factors played in the Great Recession. Consumers recklessly took on debt, government supervision was thrown out the window, and most importantly, financial institutions and their predatory lending via those subprime mortgage-backed securities was a key driver. The same instrument that Fink was trading years before at First Boston, where he lost $100 million. Kind of bizarre, but then again, you can say that is what led him to be an expert at risk management. They also helped advise and support the Federal Reserve with their purchase in commercial mortgage-backed securities during the COVID crisis. This relationship between BlackRock and the Feds has referred to BlackRock as the 4th branch of the government. So if the 2023 recession does hit and and it hits hard, just know that the feds will definitely be calling on BlackRock to come save the day. With great power comes great responsibility, and with the ability to control half of the US money supply, corporations have a duty to serve and improve the common good and well-being of the people here in the US and beyond. So BlackRock, do what you're supposed to do, and I will see you guys on the next one.